Welcome to the very first episode of Changing Lives. This is the series all about providing you with real-life solutions to the everyday challenges that we face. Now, this season will see us chat to South Africans of every single walk and life, and we'll get to find out more about their part to success. But before we get into the season, how about we find out more about the lady who's actually bringing us here? Tanya, you have a breadth of experience when it comes to coaching. You also have the book out, The Power of Positivity. People see you as the success, but that wasn't always the case, right?
Absolutely. Well, I started off with two wonderful parents who are artists, and their claim to fame is they've never actually had a salary. They've always sold their art and provided for our family. And obviously I went to a government school and had a very normal upbringing, and quite frankly only ever studied at university when I was in my 30s. So after I matriculated, I went straight into the workforce.
So let's talk about the workforce, because you have over 3 decades of experience.
Don't tell that too loudly to anyone else.
But let's talk about it. I mean, what are some of if you had to describe the breadth of your work experience, what would that be?
Well, the best thing I ever did, and I was terribly judged about it, was to change jobs quite frequently. And I got incredible experience from marketing and advertising all the way through to working in NGOs. I worked across the board. And then in 1997, actually, I started working in a company that I created an international footprint with. So I flew over to Taichung and created that. So I got a lot of work experience. And then I coupled that with my coaching. So when I studied the coaching, the business coaching and the neuroscience coaching, I could empathize with people.
So let's talk more about the series, because you put it together and you've also put in the lessons, I would say, that you've learned across your journey. Why did you even consider writing the series?
So I wrote the series because I've coached over 15,000 people one-to-one over the past 11 years since I've had my practice. And, obviously I've worked with thousands of people when it's been at events where I've had up to 700 people in a room, basically. And I realized over the time that I was doing all this work that I was changing lives. I would get testimonial after testimonial, thank you after thank you, of how people's lives were changing. And I took all those excerpts where I helped people, and I've put them together in this series, and I've put them together in my book. So in my book, there's 8 change habits, and in the series, there are 66 ideas, concepts, and change habits that if you do them on a repetitive basis, your life will change for the better.
Let's talk about psychology meets neuroscience. Why that? Is that something common? Because this is the first time that I've heard of this combination.
So it's really interesting because we don't realize quite how much our energy body impacts our lives. So the psychology is one aspect, the physical body is another aspect, but that energy body is what is the differentiating factor. If you want to say that's the secret ingredient. So if we can get that energy body right in tandem with the mental and physical body, there's your neuroscience combining with your psychology.
So for everyone who's going to be watching this season for the next 67 episodes, what's the one thing that you want them to take out of the series and go home with?
Oh, this is such a lovely question. I want them to realize that anybody can do this. It doesn't matter how low you are. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. Anyone can bounce back and anyone can achieve this.
So Tanya, can you think of a moment where you've had to pick yourself up again?
Absolutely. And it was actually when lockdown was instituted. One after the next, my clients called me and they had to cancel because I was face-to-face. My entire practice was face-to-face. So I had 2 choices. I could either watch series back-to-back and eat as many chips as I wanted, or I could really take my power back. So what I did was I wrote my book. So my book, The Power of Positivity, was written in lockdown and it was printed in lockdown.
So there you have it, the very first edition of Changing Lives. We look forward to embarking on this journey with you. And like Tanya said, anyone can do it.
Absolutely.
Uma sabufa e 5